Hey everyone, it's Jay Wolf here again. Today I'm going to be doing a mini review and just some general thoughts on an AMD Radeon HD 6950, and this is provided by XFX, and it's their double dissipation, which basically means it's got two fans to cool it. I'm upgrading right now to a GTX 680, but I thought I'd want to do a quick review of this, kind of a mini review, run a few benchmarks, and maybe compare it to the 680 and see what kind of performance increase you can get by switching cards. So this will be it. I'm just going to run a few benchmarks and I'll be right back with some of the results. Alright, so now we're doing a live benchmark of the AMD Radeon HD 6950, and it is an XFX standard clock, nothing special about it. I didn't change the clock speed or anything like that or mess with that. So this will just be kind of plugging it in and letting it go and see what we get. We're running Unique Heaven right now, the latest version, and we're running a benchmark on it as we speak. So I finished the Unique Heaven benchmark. This is the 3.0, just the basic version. And here's some results. As you can see, the frames per second was about 53.1 with a minimum of 31 and a max of 94. So you can see this is kind of already pushing it. The settings are 920 by 1200 was the resolution. The anti-alias was at 4x. Everything else was set to high. So you can see this is already kind of, once you get to that 30 frames per second drop in frames, you kind of see it doesn't look as sharp as it does in that 40s, mid 40s to anywhere above there. It's going to look really sharp. So let's X out of this and let's see what kind of temperatures we got. And this is the HW monitor by CPU ID that I've been running the temps on. And as you can see right here, the temps right now is about 5960, and the maximum was at 73. So this is an excellent card for cooling. It is the, let's see if I still got the box somewhere. It is the XFX double dissipation. So it's got two fans that are cooling the system. So it keeps it really cool. That's one thing I'll say about that. So that's just a quick benchmark there. I'm going to do one or two more quick other ones. Actually, we can probably do one right now. Let's see. We can do a quick benchmark here of the graphics processor. It's another quick, easy software, free software to use to. And let's see what we get here. Basically, this is just going to be a general car scene. See if I can zoom in here. I still got the frame counter in there, which it still has it up there on the right. So it's just going to run through a scenario, and it'll view your score over here. And it'll actually even compare it to other cards. If we can zoom in right there. And as you can see, I've ran this once before, and I got an 84.93 for frames per second, which is pretty good. And it compares it to some other cards here. Looks like similar quality, a Quadro FX 58, well, 5000 series. So as you can see, it'll have the frames per second up there at the top. And it was 87.64, which actually beat my last score. So that's pretty good. And this is just standard. I haven't done any overclocking or anything like that, so this is just a standard sample of some benchmarks that you're going to get on running the AMD Radeon HD 6950. So now I'm going to do a run through on the performance of this AMD 6950 on probably the most popular game right now, which is Diablo 3. And as you can see, all my settings are set to high, everything's maxed out. This game doesn't put that much strain on the GPU, but I thought it'd be, since it's a pretty popular game right now, I thought I'd do a quick run through. Kind of show you, see, we're staying right about the 80, which is a really excellent Let's see if we can find something to attack here to where we're getting a little bit of action. There we go. So, as you can see, we're running at about 100, and this is pretty good. All the settings are set to high. Kind of play around with this tree here a little bit. So that's pretty simple. So that's kind of an overview of that. It's running this no problem. So that's about all I'm going to do there. Just show you. So here's another example. This is a Civ 5, which also doesn't put a lot of strain on the GPU, but it's probably one of my favorite games at the current time, especially since they did a slight modification and an upgrade with more options to it. So here's my settings. Everything's set to high. So we'll see what we get there. And I got the frame counter up here, 617 right now because we're not doing anything. Alright, so now we're in Civ 5. This is a game that's I'm at turn 200 right now. And we're going to be monitoring the frame rate up here on the right. To kind of give you an idea of a different game. Performance wise, this doesn't put that much strain on the just do whatever there. Doesn't put that much strain on the GPU, but it is a current game that I play often now, especially since they came out with the new update. So kind of get in, as you can see, just scaling around. Looks like I don't know if I might be getting attacked from everywhere. Nope, nobody's attacking me yet. But let's just run up here and let's attack India. See what kind of frames per second we get here. So as you can see, zooming in and out, it does bounce down a little bit to some of the lower, or at least lower than I would like. Alright, and that's a conclusion to my kind of mini review through benchmarks at it and just my general overview of the XFX AMD Radeon HD 6950. This is was at clock speeds. I'm really happy with this card, especially for the price point. You can get it probably for about the $200 range, which is really good. And you saw on some of my benchmarks that it really didn't have any struggles. Might need a little bit of overclocking for some of the future more graphically intense games, but right now this would be a great card for anybody.